Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's not your average Josh back here for another movie review, and today I am reviewing the movie 80 for Brady, directed by Kyle Marvin, written by Emily Halpern and Sarah Haskins. This movie, of course, is starring Rita Moreno, Sally Field, Jane Fonda, and Lily Tomlin, all coming together here for a great ensemble cast here. A lot of great cameos in this movie. I am very surprised with my enjoyment with this movie. But before I really get into the details of this review, I do want to say leave a like, leave a comment. If this is your first time watching any of my videos, hit that subscribe button. I appreciate all the support I do get. You can follow me on TikTok. You can add me on Snapchat where I post content similar to this. But for the most part, my content will be here on this YouTube, not your average Josh. But let's get into this review of 80 for Brady. A group of friends made it their lifelong mission to go to the Super Bowl and meet NFL superstar Tom Brady. After winning tickets in a contest to the 2017 Bowl, they now finally have their chance, based on a true story. That last part there, I did not know that this movie was based on a true story until the end of it. This is another movie where I saw a few trailers to it. I really understood the concept overall, but I thought it was honestly a made-up fictional story. But having watched it, and then once you get to the end of it, it does make sense. It is very believable that there would be a group of women that would put all their money in to go to the Super Bowl, especially when you really get into the details of this movie on why, what was the motivation behind doing this, especially at this specific Super Bowl. I just really had a great time with this movie. I went on a Saturday in the afternoon. I was probably the youngest guy in the crowd, but it was really nice. Honestly, just a little side note here, to be in an audience with a bunch of older people, to see them be able to go to a movie. I saw this a little bit with A Man Called Otto. It's a movie that, you know, an older crowd can want to go back to the theaters to see. You know, of course, you're going to have your big movies that are out, but, you know, that's going to be a lot, you know, like Marvel movies, DC movies, these big franchise movies, big budget movies. Of course, the younger people and the people in their middle ages, they're going to go out and see that way quicker than, you know, the older crowd. So it's good that you have movies like this that can bring them together. My grandparents saw this movie. They seemed to enjoy it a lot. It just seemed like it was a very crowd-pleasing type movie. And I will say, throughout this whole movie, I had a few ladies behind me who were cackling, laughing the whole time, kicking my chair, which, you know, not too much, but I don't usually mind that stuff anyway. But it was honestly, I just had this smile every time I heard them laughing, because it's just really cool to have a movie like this that very much plays like a typical comedy. It's really just there for the laughs, but also has that heartwarming element to it. You know, these four women that are in this movie, they all just do such a great job. Their chemistry, you can tell, is totally there. And I will say, you know, as a young guy, I have not seen much of the projects that these women have been involved with their entire illustrious Hall of Fame-like careers. So I will say I'm coming in this, again, as a kind of an ignorant young guy when it comes to these ladies, but I do know the kind of royalty that these women do carry in a way. Again, this being based on a true story, they really felt like these women that this was based on. The emotional moments in this movie, a little minor spoiler here, you have Lily Tomlin's character Lou, who is diagnosed with cancer years before, and while she's going through her treatment, her and her three friends, they end up watching Tom Brady the first time he comes onto the field and play, and this ends up really developing a tradition of sorts where every Sunday they watch Tom Brady play, and they're really more of Tom Brady fans than they are of New England Patriots fans. And so they even show that as the movie goes on, when he moves teams to Tampa Bay, they show that they follow Tom, and they have, you know, the whole dual jersey thing where, you know, his jersey is New England and then his jersey in Tampa Bay. It was really cool to see. And I will say also, as a guy who just doesn't necessarily like Tom Brady that well, not necessarily personally, because obviously I don't really know the guy. He could be a great guy, he could be a bad guy, but just from like a public perspective, you know, just in terms of football, I've always grown up watching football, and it was getting tiring seeing him win all his Super Bowls. But I will say this movie really does not just paint him in a good light, but he is in this movie, and he does have a few lines, you know, he's in it to a certain extent. And honestly, I couldn't help but find him very likable in this movie. And of course, it's a movie, but, you know, it was kind of nice, honestly, to just sit back and be like, man, I'm kind of liking watching Tom Brady right now. And, you know, just going into this, I thought it was going to be a movie that maybe just didn't connect with me as well, just because of my age. And I was really going in, you know, obviously being as open-minded as I can be. And like I said, I was just really very thrilled, very happy when I did enjoy it as much as I did. I thought it was very funny throughout. I was laughing out loud many times in this movie. It felt like the writing was very, very on point here, with the humor that would work for these ladies, but also just humor in general that doesn't really, like I said, get used in comedy movies anymore. There's always, you know, so much nuance. A lot of comedies are just turned into dramedies, I feel like, nowadays, which is fine. I think there is obviously room for those type of movies, but I do miss, the good old fashioned, like, just not just raunchy, but just fun comedies. It doesn't have to be completely explicit. For the most part, it's a, PG-13 type comedy. It's got its, raunchy humor in it, but it's also got its heartwarming humor. Obviously the humor played on, their age in this movie is played, throughout. And really, each character has their own personality as well. Of course, you have Lily Tomlin as Lou, who her arc is going through. She beat cancer, but she's starting to be worried that she might have it again. So hers is definitely a more of an emotional arc that connects and brings the emotion through with the other characters. Sally Field as Betty, she does such a good job in this movie. She's kind of that tight-knit, always did things the right way. She's had a husband for so many years, the same guy, and he's this kind of pushover guy who keeps calling them while they're on their trip to try and just because he can't really do anything on his own. And so she has that small little story arc where she ends up kind of confronting her husband on that in terms of that. But yeah, she really is that character of just kind of really conservative, does everything by the book. She's really kind of the most trusted within the group. Jane Fonda as Trish, I thought was really good in this movie. She just plays that kind of blonde character who is just really girly, and she's kind of that, I want to say Barbie doll of the group, but she's that person of the group. You know what I'm talking about if you've seen the movie. Rita Moreno as Maura, I thought she did a really good job in this movie as well at being, I'd say at times the leader of the group, but also she reminded me of my grandma in a lot of ways. I think her character the most. Really, in the end, it's just their chemistry that these characters had, and I just had a blast with it. The story that they go on, going to the Super Bowl, spending all their money on this. Of course, as you would expect, there's some things that go wrong along the way, some things that go right in ways that was very surprising. It's that typical comedy movie in that way, and it also felt nostalgic in a way, not only because these ladies that was in this movie, but the fact that this is kind of a comedy road trip type movie where they're going to the Super Bowl from where they're at. It's got that road trip feel to it in certain times. This isn't obviously the most typical where they're on the road the whole time, but it does just feel like a funny comedy trip movie. There's very funny moments I didn't expect where they kind of went a little further in the comedy. It does get emotional with how they wrap the story together. The fact that they recreated this night of the Super Bowl in 2017, I thought they did that very well. Like the way the ladies are at this Super Bowl and the way they made it seem like the night was happening again. I just thought the editing and the directing was very well done. It would be very interesting to see the behind the scenes, honestly, with how they quite did that. Where did they take the shots from the actual game that happened, and then what they put in, insert the shots that they did. It's all very interesting. But yeah, overall, I just had a blast with this movie, and I would definitely fully recommend this movie. Liked it a lot more than I thought I would. I would definitely watch this again if it comes out, on whatever streaming service. Put it on because it's just a funny, fun movie. And it really, again, just reminded me of why I love comedy movies so much and why I think they are so important to be in, to be in the movie sphere, I guess you have to say, for there to be comedy movies coming out at least every now and then, not only as a palate cleanser for all the serious movies we get nowadays, but there's nothing better than just sitting back and laughing at a movie, man. I'm going to give 80 for Brady a 7.5 out of 10. Very surprising, fun movie for me, but I want to hear what you guys think. Forget what I think. I just told y'all my thoughts. I want to hear what you guys think. If you're watching this right now, leave a like, leave a comment. Have you seen this movie? Did you not like it? Do you not care to ever see this movie? Did you love it? Whatever your thoughts are, I appreciate any comments I do get. If this is your first time watching any of my videos, hit that subscribe button. That is very much appreciated as well. You can follow me on TikTok. You can add me on Snapchat, where I will post content similar to this. But for the most part, my content will be here on this YouTube, Not Your Average Josh. So again, I do appreciate all the support I do get. Be looking for more videos very soon, and I will talk to you folks later.